Heyo everybody, Haku here with my review for Tensei Shitara Slime Datta again. So this one, again, good episode. Not really a whole ton to talk about, it just kind of carried on the journey and the story that we've seen thus far. No real big surprises or twists or anything, but let's talk about it throughout the episode from the beginning. So we see Rimuru's group that's going to Dwargon, the city of the Dwarves. And he says that it includes Rieger, Gobta, and two others that remain nameless, and they're all on Direwolf back, which means, of course, Ranga is going with them. This is the first time we get the name drop for who actually named the original Rieger, and that was Lord Gelmud, who was an officer in the Demon Lord's army. So what I'm wondering is the Demon Lord going to be a totally different thing, sort of more like what Rimuru was imagining, or is sort of the Demon Lord and their army, are they going to be like the Oni that we saw in the opening, maybe? But either way, Ranga then finally gets to have the conversation initiated by Rimuru, questioning about, isn't he mad that he killed his father or anything? And while normally there would be some resentment there, he says that after all Rimuru's done for him, his gratitude and his loyalty outweigh the resentment to the point where there is no resentment. We also get name dropped the king, Gazil Dwargo, who is the hero king of Dwargon, and that Dwargon itself is actually a neutral sort of city-state that's independent and free from any of the other nearby nations, and of course that the only way that can be possible is for it to have its own strong military presence and its own powerful fighters. So what they were able to do is make a journey that it takes a goblin ordinarily 2 months to make, and they were able to do it in 3 days. Gobta and Rimuru decide to enter the city alone, and everybody else is staying back. I thought it was really, really funny, the entire scene with the scrub adventurer group trying to pick a fight with Rimuru when he turns into a Tempest Starwolf form somehow, which I guess, like he said, his mimic ability must have evolved as well. So he's able to do that, and I love the menace skill. So many... They made funny jokes with it again this episode, but what my favorite thing about it is what I said before, where it's Rimuru's voice actor or voice actress, not sure which, probably voice actress, yelling with all the sound effects on it. It's so adorable, the way it's just them yelling. So this gets them into a bit of trouble. Both Rimuru and Gobta get arrested for a bit, but Rimuru gives the dwarves a potion to help a few that were injured when within the mines, and Armadon, is that what they called it? Showed up and caused some trouble. So they become the guard, who is Kaido. They become indebted to Rimuru and promise to introduce him to a blacksmith. So they knew the next day their older brother Kaijin, or I'm not sure if it's like literally their older brother or if they're just referring to them as that. But Kaijin, who got a big order from a minister named Vesta, who I don't think was the one that we saw before, that was talking to the guild leader. His name definitely wasn't Vesta, I don't think. But he says that if he doesn't fill this order and stuff, he could lose his certification as a blacksmith, which would be pretty bad. So Rimuru gives him the Magus Stone, or whatever that he found, the magic ore, which is called Magus Steel here, I guess, because it's such a purity. Then, with the sword he already made, Rimuru makes copies of it, which is OP, entirely OP. The powers are broken, that he just says, oh yeah, this sword I can make a bunch of copies because I have the materials for it. It kind of eliminates Kaijin's the need for Kaijin whatsoever. It eliminates his job when Rimuru can just make copies of it. And also, Kaijin's probably making a livable wage doing this. So if he's making a livable wage doing this, Rimuru could do this and probably just be mega rich, since it takes him basically no time. He could just be a living synthesizer, basically. Not the musical sense, but you get what I mean. Then at the very end, they go to the place, and Rimuru finally gets to see his Erufus. And I loved the voice actor just screaming Erufu. So good. Then the very end, we see somebody stepping up. At first, I was like, oh, is it some kind of hero after him? But then after seeing the title for the next episode, I was like, no, maybe it's the king. Maybe it's not a hero after him. Also, one thing I haven't mentioned yet in any of the other reviews, I love the way the ending changes every episode. From the first episode, well, we didn't see it in the first one, but from the second episode, I was like, I kind of hope it changes because this is only specifically for what we've seen thus far. But yeah, I love that the ending changes each time around. So yeah, episode as a whole, I thought it was really fun, and it felt short, which kind of led into it being fun, because I didn't really pay any attention to the time or anything like that. And yeah, that's basically it. I just really like the show, and in addition, I would give it an even higher score than just liking the show, because there is a lot that went into this episode being good, when it comes to having a bunch of different things in the story connecting to each other. We learn about new things, like we get the name drops for the king and for the one Lord Gelmid or whatever. We get name drops for them that are going to be important in the future for sure. We have things from the past, like the Magistone or Magic Ore or whatever, that was in the past that came back to be important. The potions, once again, being important. So there's a lot more to it than just being a fun little story. It's well written too. And as a score, because of all that, because I am really, really enjoying watching it, and it's just generally good, I give it 8.5. 8.5 Erifu out of 10. So that's it. Keeping this kind of short because, again, with this episode, there weren't really any big themes to discuss, any like big crazy overall themes or any shock twists or anything like that. It was just a normal episode, which definitely was not at all bad by any means. It was really good. So yeah, I guess that's it. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of this episode, what you thought of my thoughts on it. Subscribe for more. Tensei Shitara Slime Datta again, also covering Zombieland Saga and Index 3 when it comes to the seasonal anime. Plus there's a bunch of other things like manga, light novels, etc. on the channel. So stick around for any of that if you want to. And I guess that's about it. Oh yeah, if you want a link to our Discord server to talk to me or more of us about this show or any of the other shows any of us are watching this season, or anything other than anime too, just ask and I'll give you a link to the Discord server. It's free and open. It's free and open for anyone here. And yeah, follow on Twitter if you want to, and I can try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel. But that's it. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.